What's up guys, today's video is Brelshaza Game 4 Guide. I know many players who are and who will challenge Brelshaza is afraid to watch guide videos. Brelshaza guide videos are so long and it has lots to memorize. If you think Brelshaza is totally fine, you can move on. However, for those who are hesitating, I'll tell you exactly which one to memorize, so don't be afraid. I put a big star in front of the pattern you need to memorize. There are two basic terms. First, cube's outlook. In Game 4, you'll face the gigantic boss, the cube. Cube changes its color or shape to use various patterns. There are 4 kinds of cube: red, blue, yellow, and star. Main patterns, important patterns, and basic patterns change per cube, so we need to know characteristics about 4 cubes. I'll show you one by one in the video. Also, party members must decide their role before they enter, but I'll explain it during the main pattern. Second, battle items. In Game 4, you should take time stop potions, flame grenades, or whirlwind grenades. Usually 2 flame and 6 whirlwinds. Before I introduce various cubes, I'll go over the big flow, just listen. At 170, first main pattern comes out. There are a total of 3 types of main mechanics. Main pattern that comes out changes depending on the cube's color: red, blue, yellow. At 160, color change. Cube changes its color between red, blue, and yellow. Then the boss tries to attack players with a color pattern depending on cube's color. At 133, color change. Same with 160, color changes and the boss triggers one color pattern. At 120, second main pattern begins. It depends on cube's color, but the color is normally the one that popped up at 133. Main pattern can be the same one which came out at 170. At 95, star cube pattern begins. Giant cube disappears and star-shaped cube appears. Timer is on and party members must stagger the star cube in time. Stagger the star cube, and that's it. At 65, color change. Color changes and one color pattern comes out. At 55, last main pattern begins. Solve the main mechanic depending on boss color. At 40, it's the last color change. At 20, star cube pattern. Same with 95, star cube appears and members must stagger the cube in time. You did? There's no more pattern, just kill the boss. And that was the big flow. Some will ask what are the main patterns or what are the color change patterns. I'll explain it all, so hold on. From now on, there is no need to 100% memorize, but try to remember. And there are 5 factors you should remember. First, the boss earns a DPS buff per failing a specific pattern. When stag reaches 10, game's over. The only way to erase boss's DPS buff is using an Anna. Second, you get a debuff which increases damage intake when you step outside of the map. It can stack up to weight, but you'll get deleted if it gets over 7 stacks. This is why you need to focus on your avoidance. Third, a red laser is head and the opposite side is tail. Fourth, one color pattern comes out right after the color change. One between red, blue, or yellow will come out instantly. You can't hurt the boss during the color pattern, so dodge the color pattern first. Fifth, when you look at the minimap, there are 4 pillars: red, blue, green, and white. Pillars are going to be used for the main mechanic, so be aware. Now let's find out the red cube. Pyramid 1122. The boss summons a pyramid marble at front where the red light is at. One person who is close to it should eat pyramid marble. Soon the player becomes unable to move and the safe zone appears below the player. The boss shoots laser at that direction, but the player who ate the pyramid marble is safe inside the safe zone. Shooting a laser, stagger bar appears below the boss. Laser can one-shot players, so get away from the head and stagger the boss before laser ends. When stagger is successful, the boss summons another pyramid marble. This time, another player must eat it and head to the safe zone. Then second player also becomes unable to move and stagger bar appears again. You get the feeling why this pattern is pyramid 1122. When stagger is successful, the boss summons 2 pyramid marbles. 2 players eat them and get to the safe zone. 4 left players stagger the boss and last 2 marbles come out. If 2 players carry the last 2 marbles to the safe zone, it's a touchdown. The boss shoots powerful laser toward the safe zone and pattern ends. To give you a small tip, classes that have high stagger rate must not eat the marble and stagger the boss to solve the pattern easier. In other words, if your stagger isn't good enough, go for the pyramid marble. If stagger fails, game's over. Thick laser. When color change pattern comes out and the cube changes its color to red, the boss shoots thick lasers twice. The boss shoots the first one and turns clockwise to shoot the second one. safe in front of vertex. Goal seed. Goal line follows all 8 players and stops, so the goal seed appears from that direction and flies toward the boss. Eat 1 goal seed each from your position. If you eat 2 in a row, you'll die. If the goal seed reaches the cube, the boss earns 1 DPS buff per 1 goal seed. You know what happens when it stacks up to 10. Game's over. Imprison. The boss shows a shrinking safe zone for 3 times. Remember the order and run to the safe zone for 3 times. When you get hit by the blue light, you get imprisoned, and with high probability, the boss prepares a laser toward that direction. Quickly save those who got imprisoned after the pattern. To give you a useful tip, don't get close to others if you're not sure if you can make it. When you get imprisoned right next to players, players around you also get imprisoned. So trust your party members, don't use spacebar to make it, and get imprisoned alone. Remembering land explosion. Vertical and horizontal floors explode. Horizontal floors explode in order 3, 1, 2. But you must watch out vertical floors. Vertical floors expand in order. To dodge all floors, dodge the first one and step right or left to find the next safe zone. Land explosion knocks out players, so use time stop potion if you think you are in danger. Next, let's check out the blue cube. Red, blue, green, white, 2, 2, 2, 2. When you look at the minimap, there are 4 pillars, red, blue, green, and white. During the main pattern, the boss summons a small cube in front of 4 pillars and Stagger bar appears. There are a total of 4 small cubes, so divide into 4 pairs and stagger the cube per pair. If Stagger is well done, magic circle spawns below the small cube and players on transfer buff. Soon, between 2 players, 1 player gets imprisoned, another player gets stunned and keyboard mechanic pops up. Solve the keyboard mechanic and save your partner because the boss shoots laser toward the imprisoned player. Laser can one-shot players and can be used twice in a row, so be careful. To give you a small tip, there is an easier way people using KR. Before ending game 4, party members decide which pillars they will head. Normally, number 1 and 2 from party 1 is red, number 3 and 4 from party 1 is blue, number 1 and 2 from party 2 is green, and number 3 and 4 from party 2 is white. If the cube's color is blue and the boss's HP is about to reach the main pattern, run to your pillars, then attack the boss from your position as you can be late. When small cubes spawn, stagger and run to the place where 2 other party members are at. 4 members all gathered. 1 player should throw flame grenade right below players and wait for the pattern. Flame grenade will save the players who got imprisoned without any help. However, you cannot save yourself with your flame grenades, so players must still help those who got imprisoned. Furthermore, you'll die if you fail to stagger the small cube. If your partner is dead, fluidly find the player whose player is dead too, or stagger on your own, but it's going to be difficult. Square explosion. When color change pattern comes out and the cube changes its color to blue, the boss prepares big square explosion. These are safe zones, so quickly dodge it. It is hard to dodge at first try, but you get used to it. Fire floor. Red target mark appears below all players and target mark explodes and floor gets on fire. If someone steps on fire, the boss earns 1 DPS buff, so never step on fire. It's better if all members gather to leave the fire at same place. Imprison. The boss shows blue light twice and shows a safe zone once. Showing blue light, blue marbles spawn in outer sections. Blue marble protects you once from the blue light, so take 1 each. Use blue marble to get a protection and dodge the second one. If someone gets imprisoned, boss shoots laser toward the player, so ping your place to let people know. Plus, if the blue marble is on fire floor, ignore it and ping your place. Remembering land explosion. Vertical and horizontal floors explode. Horizontal floors explode in order 3, 1, 2. Vertical floors explode right below players, so run to the place where there is no player. Moving on, yellow cube. Blue and green stagger. When the cube's color is yellow, the boss splits the entire map into 2 sections. As soon as pattern begins, giant black sphere spawns. 1 each at blue and green pillars. 1 player from each party should destroy black sphere. Soon yellow marble appears. Yellow marble runs toward the boss, and another member must eat it in front of the boss. Magic circle comes out below that player, and 2 left players without yellow shield must get inside the magic circle to stagger the boss. Important things you should know are purple turrets and players' role. During the main pattern, purple turrets spawn and shoots purple objects toward players. This purple object pushes players who don't have yellow shield, so 2 players with yellow shield must actively erase them. Plus, Magic Circle only allows 2 players, so make sure only 2 players get in. Then who gets the yellow shield? When the black sphere is destroyed, a person who is the closest to the black sphere gets a yellow shield, and a person who ate the yellow marble in front of the boss also gets a shield. To solve the pattern easier, party members should decide their role before entering Gate 4. Normally, Party 1 takes care of blue pillar and Party 2 takes care of green pillar. They should decide a player who will break the black sphere, 1 player who will eat the yellow marble, and 2 players who will stagger the boss. Person who quickly breaks the black sphere will get a shield, head to a turret to block objects. Soon yellow marble will run, and a player who eats the yellow marble will also get a shield. That player should head to another turret and quickly erase objects. Usually EPS class with low stagger breaks the sphere, and any class with low stagger can eat the yellow marble. To give you a small tip, players with a yellow shield cannot stagger during the main pattern. Also, don't eat the yellow marble away from the boss. It makes it more difficult to stagger. Dodging purple objects. The boss summons 4 turrets and shoots purple objects. The place between 2 turrets is safe, easy to dodge. Wall of Fear. The boss splits map into 2 sections. If you contact the wall, you get fear for a few seconds and the boss earns 1 DPS buff. Use spacebar or skills that are immune to abnormal status to jump over the wall. Imprison. The boss imprisons half side of the map. Jump over the wall, save once who got imprisoned to dodge the laser. Remembering land explosion. There's really no need to remember. The boss shows the safe zone once. Then vertical floors and horizontal floors explode. Head to the safe zone if you can't. Use time stop. Last type of boss is Star Cube. Star Cube comes out in 95 and 20. Timer appears and all you need to do is stagger the boss. That's it. Remembering land explosion 1. Land explodes in starship and next one explodes below players. Remembering land explosion 2. Land explodes in star shape, the vertical and horizontal floors explode. 5 verticals and 3 horizontals. Dodge the first explosion and move 1 step right or left to find the safe zone. It will be difficult at first try, so use time stop potion if you're in danger. And these are basic patterns, no need to memorize, just watch. There are a total of 6 basic patterns that slightly changes depending on cube's color, and 4 basic patterns in common. Square mark red. The boss randomly gives a square mark below players. After a few seconds, square mark shoots laser at place you're looking. Leave the laser away from the boss. Blue. Randomly square mark appears below players. Soon land explodes in square shape, so leave it away from the center. Yellow. Randomly square mark appears and a laser falls from the sky twice. Laser pillar red. The boss summons laser pillars that spin. Blue. 3 laser pillars spawn and each of them follows an aggro player. Yellow. Laser pillars spawn and spin. Also laser repeatedly falls from the sky. Laser pushes you toward the wall, so use spacebar or skills that can hold you still. Star. Some laser pillars spin clockwise and some spin counterclockwise. 2D explosion red. The boss draws cross or square to make an explosion. Blue. The boss draws rectangle to make it explode. Yellow. The boss draws round shape for explosion. Star. Land explodes in star shape. 3D explosion red. 3D figure comes out and explodes. Blue. Small cubes appear and explode. Run to the place where it already exploded. Yellow. Round-shaped red zones appear. It explodes in order to dodge it. Small cube laser red. The cube summons total of 10 small cubes that shoot laser. Safe in the middle. Blue. The cube gathers and shoots laser. Safe in the middle. Yellow. The cube summons 4 small cubes. Dodge the laser watching directions. Purple marbles red. Trajectory lines appear to all players and small meteors fall from the sky. Soon purple marbles attack players following the trajectory line. Leave your trajectory line away from the center. Blue. Turrets spawn around the boss and shoot purple marbles. Dodge both purple marbles and meteors. Yellow. The boss splits the map into 4 sections and shoots unavoidable purple marbles. Supporters or tanking classes should stand in front of DPS classes to protect them. Safe behind tanky classes. There are 4 common patterns that come out regardless of color too. Push. The boss shows large yellow zone and pushes players back. Stay close to the boss or use skills that can hold you still. 4-direction laser. The boss shoots laser toward 4 directions. This laser attacks larger area than you think, so focus on your avoidance. You can shoot laser after turning around. Reflect. 2 red zones appear and spin. If someone attacks the cube, the boss reflects and pushes players. Just like Valtan, don't hit the boss and dodge red zones. To give you a useful tip, use spacebar as soon as reflect triggers. Small cube explosion. The boss shows sector 4 and attacks. Easy to dodge. That's all about basic patterns. Before we end the video, I would like to share some tips about using Esther skill. First, Esther charges after the first main pattern around 170. Use Nineveh after the color change pattern that comes out at 160. That's same for all. Second and third, Esther charges around 95 and 20. Party leader has 2 choices, Wei or Inanna. If DPS stack the boss as is about to reach 10, or individuals have many debuff stack, use Inanna to erase them all. If stack is low and party does not have enough Stagger, use Wei instead. Some can say, why can't we use Nineveh again? You can, but it's a lot safer to use Wei or Inanna. This is all about Game 4. We're going to post our Game 4 summary at our community page, so don't forget to hit subscribe for more information. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll be back with Game 5 guide. Thank you.